Welcome and hello to the channel. And today I'm going to be talking about the developer update. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I feel like right now in Dead by Daylight, I feel like when I look at the community, when I look at the developers, when I look at the balances, the updates, and everything that's going on, I just feel like I'm starting to go a little bit insane. Behavior have really gotten onto a big string of mistakes lately, huh? With the buggy releases and the recent updates feeling just kind of unfinished, unpolished, right? And then you have the whole Chandler Riggs, Oddstarva drama. It just makes me feel more and more like everything is just a complete mess. And then we have this dev update right here, which I think might be one of the most manipulative and poorly thought out dev updates they've ever done. So first off, we obviously need to cover the substance, the what this update actually does, right? And I think the first thing to highlight here is the slugging reduction update. Now, basically, I'm sure you've already seen this, but basically how the new slugging is going to work is that survivors can pick themselves up after 90 seconds of being on the floor, right? And then after they pick themselves up once, they can continue to pick themselves up again and again and again, right? So they're on the ground for 90 seconds. They can pick themselves up for free for the rest of the trial, right? On top of that, survivors now get nasty for free, and the recovery recurs automatically. I don't understand how anybody can say that this is a good thing. I mean, this just punishes killers for doing their job well. I don't see how people don't see that. I understand that slugging is annoying, right? But instead of doing it to where like the developers always do this, right? They don't do a solution that fixes it for both sides, makes it where killers can do something else to win and survivors have fun doing something else, and survivors aren't stuck in this annoying scenario. They make it to where they just slap the killers and nerf their power, and then they appease the survivor players. That's all they do. They don't. This isn't a healthy change that benefits both sides. This is a one-sided just trying to appease their survivor. You're flipping the annoyance of being slugged from the survivor side to the killer side. This isn't a healthy change. This is just flipping the annoyance to be on the other side. That's like, how do people not get that that's not healthy? I don't. It's so obvious to me, right? And on top of the just them picking themselves up, like, why do they get to nasty for free? Why? What is the benefit of that? So they can crawl away? I feel like this just buffs boil over flip flop, right? Two of the most unfun, boring perks in the whole game. On top of that, the way that they word this, I think, is just very manipulative. Because they just say if the survivor's left in a dying state for 90 seconds during a match, they gain the ability to pick themselves up, right? That's not saying that they can do it multiple times after that. I get from that more that they can do it once. I don't get why they don't just clarify that. The dev updates, I think, are really just annoying to me for that, because they give you this sliver of information that is incomplete, and stuff like this just leads to more extreme reactions. It leads to people saying stuff and like they don't even know if that's true yet or not, right? But this is somehow not even the worst part of this. All the way down here we have the tunneling reduction update. Now this is where it gets really bad. When a survivor is hooked, the hook status is hidden from the killer. When they're unhooked, there is no notification. Horrible change. Like, why that I'm sorry, that literally does nothing against tunnelers. I'm sorry, that does nothing against tunnelers. Because if you actually want to tunnel, at this point you basically are just camping and then tunneling, you know. And the notification gives you so much information. I can't tell you how many times I've been looking around for survivors and I couldn't find any, and then I saw the hook notification, and now I know where to go, right? And then their hook status isn't revealed immediately, right? So I'm you see, this is what I'm saying. They don't clarify what this means, right? I'm assuming, right, that this means that they're hooked. It shows the little hook icon on the HUD. They get unhooked. There's no notification, and it still shows them as being hooked on the HUD, right? So they're actively giving the killer misinformation. They're actively giving the killer misinformation. Like, I have never ever seen a game that where the UI lies to your face, dude. I've never seen that happen before. I have never seen a game where the UI purposefully tells you something that isn't true. and I it's disabled when all gens are completed, but I don't see how that's really going to change much. And then unhooked survivors gain the following status effects for a limited time, right? Limited time. So this is not so all this is not infinite. They have haste, endurance, elusive, which basically just hides your aura, your scratch marks, your noises, everything. And then they get no collision to any type of detection, and they see the killer's aura. This is too much. They should not see the killer's aura. So basically, as soon as you unhook somebody, you don't know what happens, but if you are there, they get haste, endurance, and they get a free chance to escape, and they can see your aura through walls. So you have a survivor that is almost impossible to catch. And keep in mind too, they can run DS and off the record and all of the other perks on top of this, right? So if they really don't want you to get them, then yeah, this is killing tunneling, right? All of these effects except for haste and endurance are disabled in the end game, right? This might be a hot take, but I think haste and endurance should be disabled in the end game. And then here we have the another very manipulative part. So after completing a unique hook, the same survivor is not hooked consecutively. So I assume that this can trigger 12 times, right? Since it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and you know, just keep on going back and forth, right? I don't think this is the first hook. This is just anytime you hook somebody that was not the person you hooked previously, right? And you get bonus damage for generators. How much? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 50? How much? Them not showing how much, they might as well have just not even showed this, because what does this give us? Killers will maybe have a little bit of counterbalance, maybe they won't, I don't know. Then we have the temporary haste status effect, which again we have no idea what this will do. Will it be 5 for 10 seconds? Will it be 10 for 20 seconds? Will it be 8 for a minute, like machine learning? We just don't know what this is going to do, right? And we get free barbecue and chili, which I do think is nice, honestly. But I think all this should have been in the game already, honestly. But I guess it's fine if they add it. I think they're kind of giving killers free perks right here, I assume. I think it's a good thing to reward killers for not going for the same person, but because you're putting yourself at a massive disadvantage when you don't do that. And then we have the this something here I think is very strange. The effects are slightly lessened for the Blight, Dark Lord, the Ghoul, and Hillbilly Nurse. Okay. So, are they just straight up admitting that the game is completely unbalanced? You know? Are they just admitting that these killers completely break the mold of what a killer is able to do? Because it seems like that's what they're admitting right here. That these killers are so much stronger than the other weaker killers that they don't need this stuff. And then we have the worst part of the update right here. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states, all remaining survivors gain a repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial. And again, we don't know the numbers. Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 15? Is it 20? Is it 100%? I mean, how much is it, right? So here's where I think we would get to an issue of they haven't defined what tunneling is. So, in my opinion, killing somebody at 4 and 5 hooks means that you didn't tunnel. Because let's just do the math here, right? Let's say you have 2 survivors right here. You have 1 and then 2, right? So you hook the first one, you hook the second one, you hook the first one again, you hook the second one again. Now you have 4, right? You have 2 hooks on 1, 2 hooks on 2, right? If you were to go back and kill 1 now, you would be punished by the system, which is how is that tunneling? How is going for somebody after you've hooked somebody else twice tunneling? So tunneling essentially to behavior is anytime a killer gets a kill before 6 hooks. They're bouncing around this term, and they haven't even defined what the term means. I mean, sure, the community has their own definition for it. Some people say tunneling is going for the same person twice at any time throughout the whole game. You have to define what a term means to balance a game around it. And then we have, if the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, generators cannot be regressed or blocked. This line is also very confusing to me, but because is it saying that they'll be blocked for the rest of the game? Is it on a timer? Is it blocked until I get a hook on somebody else? I think most people would look at this and assume that if you tunnel one time, the gens are blocked for the rest of the game. And all of this again is not healthy. This is not a healthy change. This is not a healthy update. This is doing is flipping the annoyance of tunneling onto the killers. The killers are now annoyed when previously it was the survivor it's happening to. This isn't a healthy update. It's switching the unfun, the annoyance to the other side. That's all it's doing. Great example of when they've done this is the 8 gen kick thing, right? So we have 3 genning, which leads to some unfun gameplay for the survivors, and honestly isn't all that fun for a killer either. Instead of finding a way to where it's more fun for both sides, we're just gonna make it impossible to do on the killer side. And then this is how they balance things. They don't look for a way to change things in a way to benefit both sides. They just try to appease things for the survivor side, but because that's the majority of the player base. And I just wanted to take a brief tangent here. So I've been saying this thing recently about people saying the killer queue times have been super high, and that means that there's more killer players than survivor players. But I think that is probably because of the 2v8 mode. The killer queue times are pretty high without the game modes active, I will say, but 2v8 definitely increases the queue times by quite a lot, but because I think a lot of the survivor players that normally don't like killer will get on 2v8 and play killer, because it's a lot more accepting to more, you know, casual players, right? And then down here I just wanted to highlight something, right? They updated various perks. Okay. A lot of perks need to be changed, and instead of giving us the information, they're just gonna say, we changed perks, don't worry. I understand that they're gonna give us more information in the patch notes, that in the patch notes for the PTB, but what is the point of a dev update then? Just wait until the PTB comes out and drop the patch notes then. This is kind of like a, hey, here's all this stuff so you can have a big crazy reaction about it. But yeah, I think honestly this is I think this whole update is very, very poorly thought out, honestly. And I did want to show you something right here before I end the video. Yeah, okay. If you scroll down the page here, we have this from the community manager here. Someone asked if the anti-slug lets you pick yourself up for forever. And this person says, yeah, if you've been left in the dying state for 90 seconds and self-pickup, the 90-second timer does not reset. So at least we got some clarification on that. But yeah, guys, do you think I'm being a bit too hard on the devs, calling them manipulative? But I think honestly this update is really going to be a very abysmal one. But I hope you have a great day. I will see you next time, and goodbye.